Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Should we do some intro music?
Can
The theme song? Should we put it to a vote?
we can put it to a vote? Who wants to hear the theme song?
See, now we got to wait for the lag.
The lag, yeah.
You know what? This is our show. Screw their vote. I'm playing the theme song.
All right, I'm gonna mute your audio.
Is that too loud?
No, that sounds great on my end, which is I'm hearing the stream audio. So
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third live call-in show.
and if you're listening and you're in the chat, you remember to never forget. Congratulations. We're real proud of you. We're real proud of you.
Yeah. Today, obviously, being a very special day here in the United States, 9/11.
Yeah.
It's been, 16 years now
Yep.
since the Big Bang. Should we observe a moment of silence, or should we wait until more people get on the stream?
No, let's wait before we start doing any moments of silence.
Are you going to do an actual moment of silence, or are you just going to rant for several minutes for a moment of
We'll
silence?
see how I feel, man.
I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah, me too. Hold on. I forgot my lighting.
Lighting?
Jesus Christ, you think I did this for a living?
I screw up all sorts of things that I do for a living.
Alexa, turn off everything.
Okay,
Alexa, turn on the living room.
okay.
Oh boy. Look at that. I look way better in this video now. Now people
Got
can
some
see my
lights.
shit.
Yeah.
See all this McDonald's food that I'm eating?
I notice you're back in your apartment now.
I am back in my apartment now. I'm not going to any Evil Knievel museums, so no reason to be in Tulsa. That museum was real fucking cool. People watching the stream aren't gonna know about this yet, but on the show I talked a little bit about my dad and I went to this Evil Knievel museum in Topeka, Kansas. Man, it was worth every dollar. Not just the dollars of the tickets, but the dollars of driving our asses all the way to Topeka and eating all that money too. It's fucking awesome. Spent 2.5 hours there.
Sounds pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Now, also, you went and saw a movie yesterday. How'd that go?
It went great. Well, I don't know. Some people might have caught my tweet. I tweeted out before the movie started. Hey, I'm gonna live tweet Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, starting in just a few minutes, and then I x'd out of, and then 2.5 hours later I logged in and I tweeted, oh shit, guys, sorry I forgot. I was just sitting there and enjoying the movie like a normal human being. I forgot to live tweet all this. My bad. Because the lady sitting right in front of me, it started with this interview with William Shatner and some rando guy who I guess is a Star Trek fan. This lady's sitting there in front of me just fucking like snapping photos of the screen and posting them on Facebook, snapping photos of the screen and posting them on Facebook. And I'm like,
Why?
I don't know. I guess proving that she was there. So she's snapping photos on the screen, posting them on Facebook, and then the movie starts, and the lights were still kind of bright, so because people were still being seated. But then when the movie actually started, the lights went all the way down, and she pulls out her fucking phone again and snaps a photo of the screen with the flash on. I'm like, put your fucking phone away! And then the usher came up to her and was like, ma'am, you need to not do that.
That's about as bad as snoring in the theater.
Yeah.
While you're watching X-Men. So you're watching The Wrath of Khan. Do you have any spoilers for anyone?
Spock dies.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know. If you hadn't gotten around to seeing that in 35 years, sorry.
Well, some things are, as we talked about on the recorded show yesterday that no one's heard yet, some things are cultural spoilers.
Yeah.
And that was a spoiler.
It was a cultural spoiler.
So, speaking of things that are a long time coming, for anyone who caught episode 40, or 40, was it 41? Episode 41, if you caught it, I talked about a house that I used to live in that
That's right.
it was in 1989, and I've been having recurring dreams about that house for the past somewhere between 15 and 20 years. And when I went to schedule surgery, it messed up my appointment to go see the house, to go up to the room that I could never reach in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, something always prevents me, and that's this weird blockage I've got in my head.
Yeah.
So I was finally able to reschedule the visit, and that was today.
Yeah, and it turns out they boarded off that room and they pretend it's not there anymore.
It was worse than that. Hurricane Irma tore the house down.
God damn it! God damn Hurricane Irma! Thanks a lot, Trump.
I got to go, and I did go into the house.
As long as we're talking about Hurricane Irma, I just want to say there were no devastating hurricanes under Obama, and there's been 2 under Trump. So that's a tweet coming from Mysterious Coconuts later this week.
Oh boy. Is there anything, any threads there you want to tug on, or
no?
You can leave that. No, okay, I understand. So long story short, Aunt Buck and I did go to check out the house, and it was fun in a lot of ways that I didn't anticipate. There was a lot of things about that house that I didn't remember.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten an entire room of that house that was in plain sight. So, but I did manage to make it successfully up the stairs, and I videoed it. I asked the woman's permission who lived there to videotape myself walking through her house, which seemed like a strange request to her, but she eventually granted it after some convincing. And I've got footage of me going up the stairs, ducking off into one other room to investigate something, and then going up to the main hallway upstairs and into the bedroom that I used to be in. And I fucking had a flashback. I'm not even kidding about this. Yeah. It's boring. Like, the content of the flashback is boring, but I did have a flashback. Like, and it reminded me of some things that I'd forgotten. So, maybe now that can be out of the way. Maybe now that can not bug me anymore.
We'll see.
But, so yeah, I'll talk about it again on episode 43 when we record it. And of course, episode 42 comes out in a few days from now. But for anyone who's joining us on the live stream, on the live episode, who has been following the show and wants to hear about all that, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm not going to post the video because I go out of my way not to put Aunt Buck on blast.
Yeah.
And she's in the video, so that's not going up. But
send it to me, and I'll block her out.
You could do that.
Yeah.
And it's only like a minute and a half long.
I can put a block in front of her and make her. She's just behind a big black bar. And everybody would be like, "What's going on there?" It's like, "Oh, that's Muhammad. Don't worry about it."
And every time she comes on screen, put in, and then just put a big explosion at the end of it. Kaboom! Blew the house up. Now it was a lot of fun, and the lady. So I mentioned that when I had gone 10 years ago to the house to talk to the people who lived there, I met a lady, and she was like, "No, your crazy dreams are just you crazy." She still lives there.
Yeah.
And so I don't think she recognized me, although whenever we had an appointment to show up.
Yeah.
And when we got there, I was waiting. I was texting the realtor like, "Hey, we're here. Where are you?" He goes, "Oh, just go to the door and what's your name will show you around the house." I'm like, "Okay, sure, whatever." But we'd already been sitting there like 5 minutes in her driveway. So she's peeking out the window like, "Who's this?" And I'm like, "Did the realtor not tell her that we were coming? Like, what's happening here?" So finally, as he's saying go inside, I see her poke her head out the door. So I get out of the car. Aunt Buck gets out of the car. We start walking towards the door, and she just looks at us with this horrified look. I'm like, "Hi, I'm Uncle Buck, and this is my wife, Aunt Buck, and we're the ones who are here to look at the house." She's like, "Oh, okay." Like, did the realtor not? Yeah, he told me. Okay.
I just didn't think that you were going to actually come here.
Like, I didn't know you were going to be a person. I thought you were going to be a cartoon.
Or a little robot, like a little robot Skype call would fly through that. A drone would fly through the house.
scan the house and then just leave.
Yeah.
So once she established that that Aunt Buck and I were a married couple who were there to look at the house, she softened up quite a bit. She opened up and she talked to us, and she put her dogs away so they wouldn't try to maul my ankles.
Yeah.
And she showed us around the house, and it was neat to see how it had changed in the past 28 years. And it was also neat to see how things were the same and the things that I had forgotten, like little details. And I had forgotten that that place is so full of closets. Like, I'm almost legitimately considering trying to buy the house.
Yeah. Get some more
Turns
closets.
out, yeah, well, there's like 8 bedrooms. So I can have like 7 studios, and then the rest of us just crammed into 1 bedroom.
Kids.
Yeah. If we did have more kids, we would need a house.
Yeah.
Huge, like yard. Apparently the neighbors are good, although I'm not a good neighbor, so there's that. And
I'm a good neighbor as long as you're fine with, occasionally hearing a string of profanities shouted in the middle of the night for no reason.
Is that from you being angry at people or screaming in your sleep?
Or things. Like today, I was so I bought that Craigslist bike, right?
Right.
And the fucking pedal fell off. Did I tell you about that? That the pedal fell off?
Yeah, and you had to replace it?
Yeah, so I got all the stuff to replace it today. I went to go replace it. Turns out you can't pull the arm off of a bike just by taking the bolt out. You have to have a special tool. So I take it down to a bike shop nearby, ask them if I can borrow their special tool, because I don't want to buy this tool. I don't want to buy this damn tool because I'm only going to use it one time, never going to use it again. So they take their tool and take it out, and then I take the bike home, and I go to put the new arm on there. And apparently my bike is one of the rare bikes that, so the bolt has a square part of it, so that it doesn't just spin around. It's locked in place. Well, most bikes have a diamond shaped like this. That's a terrible diamond, but it has a diamond. Well, mine is a square. So if I put that arm, the new arm, because I got a diamond arm on my bike, instead of having 2 arms that go like this, I have arms that go like this. So I had to order another fucking arm that's not going to be here until Thursday. It's like, God damn it! God damn it!
You can't win for losing sometimes.
Oh man, and so I was out there outside. It's right behind me now, so I brought it inside. But I was outside. It was on the back of my car, and I was just like, "Fuck you, fucking worthless fucking thing!" So stuff like that happens in the middle of the night too.
Yeah, or your 110 decibel alarm. Yep. I wonder how long it went off before it got smashed.
I don't know. Probably a minute or two, because the old lock, oh man, I just threw it away. The old lock was really smashed. Like, it had clearly, they picked it up and slammed the lock itself on the ground a few times to try and make it stop, and that didn't work. And then they took some tool and they smashed the front of it, and it's pretty clear that they smashed it several times, because there's a couple of impact marks, and then finally they crushed something and it stopped making noise.
Probably just a little speaker inside, whatever.
Yeah, or the circuit board, yeah.
Or that. Man, you want to get into some callers?
Do we have one?
I know Mononk Pat was wanting to call in, and he's in one of the chat rooms right now.
Well, he has to hop in the show waiting room, and I'll move him over to the regular feed.
Maybe we need to post some instructions.
I got a new alarm lock.
There he is. Now, Pat, you're going to have to be aware, neither of us that I'm aware of speak much French, so you're going to have to really slow down and do the English good.
I was working for Michael Bublé once, and the whole fucking day they kept calling me Chad. Chad. And I'm like, man, I've gotten lots of names that were not my name, but I've never gotten Chad. And I could not figure out why they were talking with these goofy accents, and I couldn't fucking figure it out. And then finally I realized, Michael Bublé is Canadian, and all these roadies are French Canadian, and that's why
They can't pronounce a
they
T?
can't pronounce
Sure.
my name.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So, all right, let's welcome Monarch Pet C Pat. What's up, man? All right, let's welcome. Oh, we got some echo.
Yep.
Monarch Pet C Pat. What's up, man?
So you're going to have to mute the live stream. This is the one part about live call-in shows. They're a pain in the rear end. Mute the live stream. I hear me. And I'm not hearing Pat. I hear me. Okay, we'll give Pat a few minutes to get this worked out.
Yeah.
Make sure you got your microphone on, buddy, because if you're talking, we're not hearing you. And we are hearing us.
Yeah. So maybe switch yourself to push to talk under the voice settings.
Do you still have that video of you as Mad Cucks doing that instructional video?
It's on YouTube, yes. I don't have it anymore because I lost all my Mad Cucks raw material.
Oh, that's right, because you're...
Yeah, because none of that was in Dropbox, so...
Well, that sure sucks for you.
Yeah, it really does. It really, really, really does.
How much of that was unreleased?
There were a couple of things that were done that weren't released. So...
I think I may have heard Pat talking. Pat? You got anything for us? The joys of live streaming. Of live technical difficulty.
Yep.
All right, in the meantime, I'm going to jump around here. We got some other people that are online. I see Dowfather's online.
Buckle up your ears. This is what the sound my lock makes.
Oh,
Pretty fucking loud, right?
yeah, I'm glad there's a compressor.
Yeah. So, that probably went off for a couple minutes.
Dowfather has just posted your Mad Cooks video. Thank you, Dowfather. You going to jump in and talk to us? Pat says kick him out. I sure hate to do that, but we do what we must because we can.
Yeah, I'm bringing Dowfather.
Yeah, he's one of our regulars. Got a shout out in this week's episode.
R.I.P. everybody's ears. Let's welcome him into the show then. Welcome to the show, Dowfather.
Hello.
Hey, you sound great. Since it's September 11th, you want to join us for a special moment of silence?
Okay.
All right, we're all gonna have a moment of silence for September 11th. So,
how long is a moment?
God damn it, Buck! You fucking ruined a moment of silence. I'll tell you when the silence is over. All right, a moment of silence starting now. All right, there you go. There's a moment of silence.
I just think it's weird that you wait till we get someone on the line to start the moment of silence.
Well, I want. Someone,
I know, right? You could have done that with the last guy.
I want him to be part of the ritual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's not good enough to just have a moment of silence. You got to tell everybody about it.
Oh, we have to virtue signal the moment of silence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Should we also have a group prayer while we're at it?
No, we got to have separation of church and state, Buck.
Now, Father, what's happening tonight, man?
Not much.
So, have you got any issues you want to talk about?
I talked about it before on the Discord, but I think I'd like to bring in when I talked about. All right, here's what I don't get. Those fucking job training videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a story about that immediately, but go ahead with your issue.
Go ahead.
I just had one like the other day. My company gave out ones that were about email security. One of them had a question that was like, is this secure, or is this safe to as an email for. It gave like several examples of parts of an email. It is like, is this suspicious or not? And one of them said like, do your taxes now. I clicked suspicious because it's about money. And then they're like, you're wrong. Fuck you.
How is? I mean, I feel like that's kind of suspicious because that's advertising of some kind, and
it's spam.
Doesn't everybody just use TurboTax?
Yeah.
Or hire a tax person.
Or hire a tax, H&R Block. Like, you go to a professional tax preparer. You're not going to just, I got an email about doing my taxes, so I guess I better log in and do it.
This guy seems legit. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have just like the most bullshit questions. Like I talked about it before. The multiple choice questions where it's like, check all that apply, but it has an all of the above option, and only clicking the all of the above option is correct.
Oh man, my dad's been applying for jobs, and he was applying. He got put in touch with this recruiting group. He told me this story this weekend. He got put in touch with this recruiting group, and so the guy was talking to him and about the kind of jobs that he wanted, and what's your issue?
Oh, this look of disgust was my computer tried to reboot just now.
Oh yeah, of course it did.
Again,
it always tries to do it right in the middle of the show. So the recruiter likes him, and they say go fill out this job trivia questionnaire, and about 80% of the questions were about whether or not you've done meth. That's like, have you ever done meth right before work? Have you ever thought about buying meth? Like all these questions about meth use. And then there was a couple of questions about like interpersonal work behavior, and he was on question 48 of 50, and it said, have you ever gotten so mad at work that you wanted to curse?
Yes.
Yeah, so he answered yes. Not have you ever cursed at work? Have you ever gotten angry and cursed at work? It was, have you ever gotten so angry at work that you wanted to curse? Like, yeah, he answered it yes. It immediately terminated the survey. It said, sorry, you can try again. You can try and apply again in 6 months. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, you're conflating the idea of me taking meth right before work, and it was your question's like in the last 28 years, have you ever taken meth before work? It's like, well, yeah, one time 28 years ago, I was hanging out with some friends and someone offered me some meth, and then I went to work later that day. Like, okay, that person's out. But also the person who thought about saying the F word while at work, that guy's out. So then the recruiter called him back and said that he had an interview for him. And he's like, well, I failed your little survey. And the recruiter guy goes, oh, those don't even matter. It's like, well, why the fuck did you have me take it then?
Yeah, that makes no sense to me, man.
And then the recruiter said, hey, man, you can't speak like that if you're going to go on the job.
No swearing here. We were part of the no cussing club.
Yeah, I hate those. I hate all the employee. Anything you have to do as an employee. We had a really long, good conversation about this in text on the Discord about all those hoops you have to jump through just to apply for a job.
And then
it's like, be honest, guys, but no, just lie to us.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And now they're wanting to go through your social media to see what kind of person you are. So now you have to have 2 social media accounts, one for your nice, clean image, and one that you can actually be yourself on.
Yeah, when I worked at the Lego store, we had this like video training series, and you were supposed to log in as under your employee ID and watch all these videos and take all these little tests, right? And so we get there for the training, and it's me and one other person, and they don't have employee IDs for us yet. So they had us take it on like one of the manager's accounts, both of us at the same time, and then they just like, we'd finish one of the tests, and they'd walk in and be like, okay, and they'd write down the score, which was always 100. So what was the point? And I was really worried that they were going to give us an employee ID, and then they were going to say, oh, in order to make your clearance good, you're going to have to go take these tests again. And I was going to be like, fuck! Watch these fucking videos.
I've got 2 stories about videos. I'm going to type something real quick. I'm trying to get some more people into the waiting room. So, I used to work at a distribution center, very briefly. And I mean, and obviously in an environment like that, they have forklifts, they have lots of heavy machinery.
Yeah.
And they made us watch a forklift safety video that I swear would have been more appropriately labeled Forklift Faces of Death, because it was only horrible things that can go wrong. It was gory. That was the other thing.
Like your driver's ed videos where they'd show you the Dare would not Dare. Mad would come in and be like, "This is what will happen if you take a drink while you're driving." And
if you look at a beer while you're in a car, the car's going to explode and fall off a cliff. Your guts are going to turn into snakes. Yeah. So the thing is, it wasn't real footage. It was all like very low budget special effects. So one instance that I will give was there was a guy sitting on a forklift, and this woman walked up to him like with a clipboard or something to ask him a question, and he didn't set the brake. And so then he slowly rolls backwards and rolls over her foot. And for just that moment, it looked like she had stepped on a full tick. It just splurted out full of blood. Like someone popped a balloon. Like that scene out of It, when the balloon pops and there's blood everywhere. That's what it looked like. So there was one where a guy drove an electric forklift into an area that you're not supposed to drive one, and it blew up. Like you just see a forklift go through a doorway, followed by... It was fantastic. Now,
it sounds like an awesome video.
Other than the fact that it had like the Faces of Death music, that... So, where I currently work, there's a significant risk of dust explosion, which I've explained many times. So we had to watch, and we still have to watch about once a year, a video called Deadly Dust. And it is seriously just a video about like the science of why dust explosions occur. But you have to watch 2 or 3 of these, like 2 or 3 different videos of this whenever you're new there. Like all the new people have to watch all these videos back to back. And one of the funny things that we do to all of them is as soon as you see someone that you don't recognize walking through the plant, you have to walk up behind them and be like, "Kaboom!" Just scare the shit out of them. Because you walk around thinking this place could cook off at any second. And so they breed that fear into you. And after 10 years, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Like the sweet release of death at this point.
Yeah, but people always will be like, "Oh, you shouldn't cross the street before the crosswalk goes off." And I just, if I get hit by a car, I don't have to pay back my student loans.
If this place blows up, and I survive it, I don't have to come to work the next day. So fuck you. So, those are my 2 stories. What else you got, Dow Father?
Not much.
Awesome. Well, listen, man. I guess we won't keep you then. Thanks for calling in, and always remember, never forget.
All right, Monarch.
Goodbye.
Monarch Pat says that he's ready, so let's
bring him in.
Let's bring him in. Welcome back, Monarch Pat. Monarch. I heard him for a second. Let's
bring him in.
Let's bring him in.
It was you.
Welcome back, Monarch. How about that? I heard him for a second. Let's
Now we're hearing a loop. We should let's see. We should like sing a song in time
it just right, so that we ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do like a round.
Run,
to the redwood, to the redwood, to the redwood tree. All right. It looks like Pat's muted at the moment.
Yeah, I muted him. Oh, Dowfather said, "I said this in the YouTube chat, but Hurricane Sandy happened under Obama."
That's very true.
That's very semantic. Because, I mean, really, what was Obama going to do about the weather?
But it's definitely true. Yeah. I know you're doing this satirically, but every time I just want to grab you by the beard and like with one hand and then just choke you out with the other. Oh, that gets under my skin so bad.
There are people that say these things though. That's the shocking thing.
I'm fully aware, and it's horrible. All right, Pat, you ready to try again? Leave it to a Canadian to have a messed up sound system.
Fucking Canadians.
Audio setup.
All right, let's unmute him. Let's make a note. Let's make a note before we do it. So,
I don't hear anything.
I see his little circle lighting up.
This is the stupid thing about Discord is you've got to go and like dick around with all your settings for a while before you get it figured out.
If your stuff sucks, the first time I joined Discord, I just turned it on and it worked.
Okay, there's that. I feel bad because Pat had some great stuff he wanted to talk about. He had some stuff to talk about me. He had an issue that related
Pat,
to
hang
you.
up. Hit the disconnect button and then reconnect. Have you done that?
We'll continue to make small talk in the meantime.
Yeah. How about
Goodness
this
gracious,
Equifax
Matt.
thing?
Yeah, so you were going to talk about
I was
that
going to talk
on the
about it, and then
show.
a bunch of people that can't hear the F word walked into the house. So,
Children?
yeah, 143 million Americans had all their shit fucking leaked online because this company just gathers data about you in the off chance that someone asked them for it. Not even you go to them and go like, "Hey, I want you to monitor my shit for me so that if I ever decide that I need to, you can vouch for my shit." No, they're just out there gathering data about everybody in the off chance that someone calls them up and says, "Hey, you know anything about Uncle Buck? Can he buy this house?" No. Man, so they've been fucking harvesting all this data for decades about everybody. They have your employment history, your date of birth, your social security number, your phone numbers, your past phone numbers, your address history, like everything about your whole goddamn life these people have, and they just did nothing to make sure their database was secure. And then the damn fucking hack happened in May and June and July of this year.
Oh, really?
And they didn't announce it until last goddamn week because there's all the fucking executives had to sell off their stocks. $200 million in stocks they sold off. And so, oh, but we didn't know about the hack before then. Like, bull fucking shit, you didn't know about the hack before then. You sold $200 million worth of shit because you knew the bottom was going to fall out. You fucking knew it.
Well, the good news is if you have the stocks already plummeted.
Yeah, they're in the fucking tank. They announced it. They announced it on Thursday in post trading, and that line is like their line is just straight on across, and then Thursday announcement, and it goes boom, just straight down, gone. It's ridiculous.
So I was going to say because if you knew it was going to do that, you could then short it.
Well, yeah, that's basically what they did.
Because Chaco taught me about what shorting stocks is because I'm a pleb when it comes to the market. I was like, oh, well, that sounds like cheating. But
these motherfuckers, they ought to take every goddamn asset they have, their cars, their houses, everything, fucking bank accounts, seize it all, and redistribute it to all fucking 143 million people that they failed to protect. Give it all to them, split it up amongst those people, and then fucking hang them from the street light on Wall Street and let everybody fucking know that this shit isn't okay. These are fucking criminals.
Well, somebody that I know on Facebook is already reporting fraudulent activity on their credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they're having to like have all their cards canceled. They have to do everything. It's nuts.
Can't get a new social security number though, so. And then they had the fucking audacity to let you enroll. You can enroll in 1 year free of Equifax credit monitoring and credit protection. But there's a little checkbox in there that if you sign up for this service, you don't get to sue them if your identity gets stolen.
Downfather says, I heard that the head of security was this chick who was a music major.
Yeah. No. It's a good thing they had all the diversity.
Yeah, diversity really saved the day this time. I think Pat's ready to try again.
All right, let's try it one more time. Hello, Pat.
Hello.
Hey!
How are you guys?
Hey! Okay, he's really loud now because I turned him up earlier.
Oh. Well,
It's not
now,
too
all
loud on me.
thanks to DAO, it works fine, man.
Great, great. Do you want to join us in a moment of silence, being that today's September 11th?
Yeah, of course. What a fellow Canadian wouldn't do.
Yeah. All right. So let's have a moment of a silent moment, Buck. All right, starting now. Yeah, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that silence feel good?
About 12 seconds.
Yeah.
About 12 seconds of silence.
Do you guys expect to like end up with a minute by the end of the show?
I don't think he has a plan for
I
this.
don't
think
have a
this is
plan at all. I just wanted to make sure you felt like you were part of the moment of silence.
Yeah, great. I feel connected now.
Virtue signaling, one call in at a time.
Well,
That's what we
okay,
do
so
on this show.
there are studies that show that if you like take a moment of silent breathing with somebody, you'll work better as a team.
That sounds like a whole lot of horse shit to me.
No, you sync up your breathing rhythms. It's true. It's true, man.
Well, see, that way you're both blowing out at the same time, so you can't smell each other's bad breath.
Yeah.
What if you fart at the same time? Is it connected?
Yeah.
That would be a skill, like to
Farting
try and
in
synchronize
sync.
farting. Next time you're in North Carolina, buddy, we're going to load up on what makes you gassy.
Garlic, poutine.
That's one thing about Canada I'm really looking forward to trying if I ever get up there is poutine. I
Yeah,
wanna do
best
it.
place
I
we
want-
gotta go is Montreal, man. Best poutine everywhere.
I see. There's a mega church that my dad goes to, and they have one of their campuses up in I forget exactly where it is. It's towards the eastern Canada. And my dad wants to take me up there to go visit. I'm like, sure, yeah. If you're paying the gas money and the hotel bill, yeah, whatever. Be glad to go.
Ah.
Hotels are for the
Too
weak,
bad,
man. You should just drive straight out there, do everything you were going to do, and drive back.
Yeah, you camp in your car, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a whole route of things we could do that way. What do we? So have you got oh, hey, we just got a $5 pledge on Patreon
Yeah, I'm a proud producer, so yeah, treat me with
from
respect.
Ty. So Ty, whoever you are, I don't know if you're listening right now, but thank you a whole bunch for your $5. Be sure and give me 5 words. So Pat, for a little history, you bought some Overmortal stuff off of me.
Yeah, and I really dig it, man. I showed it to a couple of my friends, and yeah, they like it. They
Well,
don't
be
care
sure and
about if
apologize
it's
to them for me.
huh?
So be sure and apologize to them on my behalf.
Oh no, I didn't add to, man. They liked it.
I'm just glad it made it across the border. I was a little afraid, to be honest, because I know, like, when Chaco tried to buy a MAGA hat, it wouldn't make it across the border. Like, they kept sending it back, so I had to have it smuggled in.
Yeah,
I
but
was like,
that
man,
Trump hat, I mean, it was obvious. Like, you open the case, and Canada is known to be, like, politically correct, so everything that seems to not be politically correct doesn't cross the border.
Well,
I, too, had some struggle, like, even smuggling some films here. And, yeah, I got a bunch of problem with that. And, like, Chaco in the special episode talked about the CRTC, but here in Quebec, there's also Quebec's government that works over that, and has multiple departments that get sure that everything that gets here has something French on it. So yeah.
Had when the package of CDs and stuff had arrived, had it been opened?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It was no, they didn't check anything. Came
Good.
in everything perfect.
Because the CD, the one that was sealed that you have seen, was a picture of a family. It turns out it's my family, and I'm the little kid in that picture with crosshairs across our faces, and it says "Dangerous Fundamentalists."
Yeah, I know.
I figured that would be a big red flag. So
I know.
That made it to you.
There's some fundamentalists also here around. Like we have, we call them Témoins de Jéhovah, Jehovah's. Yeah, they got those rooms they have across. Every Sundays they try to knock on doors, and I had to equip myself with a satanic Bible to just push them off. So yeah.
Satanic Bible, I love it.
Yeah.
Chris Bailey said, "Wow, Quebec sounds fucking stupid."
And drunk. Kudos
That's
to him.
fantastic.
I'm also drunk, so that works. It's exponential.
No, that's the best. I'm so glad you are. I'm a little jealous right now because I'm not. So have you got an issue you want to talk about tonight?
I got multiple issues, but I choose to go with one that is fairly new.
All right.
Started this morning.
Wait. You got to do it right. You got to say, here's what I don't get.
Oh yeah, here's what I don't get. Sport fanatics, but most especially Montreal Canadiens fanatics.
I see Tab is a little
Oh
agitated
man,
over
I
here.
fucking hate sports, dude, and I hate people that like sports.
Hey. So do I. Like, I can enjoy sports. I mean, I like to play like some video games about sports, like some NHL, and just like removes everyone's head off with a good check. So yeah, I like sports that way. But otherwise, it annoys me. And what annoys me the most about sports, it's all the religious fans. Because here in Montreal, it's crazy. You have 2 seasons. You have construction and you have the hockey season. And each overlaps, and it's like if you are already tired like of all the, like as soon as Halloween's over, every store's become Christmas. Well, here it starts in September. Like, you walk everywhere downtown, it's Montreal Canadiens everywhere, and everyone's like, oh yeah, they're praying like their god is Maurice Richard, and no, they annoy the shit out of me. And also at the workplace, like as I was telling this morning, my colleagues were like, hey, have you checked on the news? Like, they're starting boot camp at the Canadians. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I mean, they stopped being good after '94, so why should I care?
Yeah, I live in a college town, and anytime there's a football game, like the whole town locks up. You can't go anywhere if you're trying to get past the town in either direction during a football game. You're just trapped.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the best time to go to the grocery store is if you leave right after kickoff. But if you're not home by when the game's over, you're fucked. You're sitting in
stuck.
traffic
You're stuck
forever.
there.
What I hate is
And none of them know how to
bars on
cross a
sports bar.
fucking street to save their lives. They just just walk across like, whoa, there's cars and a red light. Like, yeah, there are crosswalks. Do you see the little white man? Do you see the white man? No, you see a red hand. Red hand means don't fucking walk.
Well, Montreal's almost the same thing, because like each time there's a game, like not even if they go to the big center, the big arena, like the arena is like center, like downtown. So everyone wants to get there, and if they can't get in, they go crawl in every bar around. So the entire downtown, each bar, like if you plan, like you go with some friends and you're like, hey, tonight I'd feel to go for a beer. Like, if you don't know there's a hockey game, well, you're gonna get there and be totally disappointed because everyone's watching the game in every bar downtown.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck. Like, maybe if you're lucky, you get into a bar like before the game starts. And at one time I went to an Irish pub, and then like their thing is they have like a big cowbell they like to ring when there's a goal. And I get there, the game's not even started yet. The bar is almost empty. We get there, a couple of friends, and we didn't know there was a game. But the guy just drops the bell near me, and he tells me, "Hey, look at if you look at the game, like ring the bell each time they do a game." And we didn't care about the game. We went there to watch the game, and so were most of the people in the bar. So I would just use the bell at random times, and when the other team would score, or just when I wanted to order service. And after some time, the barman just took back the bell and gave it, took it away. I know, no, it's not over. It's not over, man. And the guy it gives it to plays the same trick.
That's with everybody.
And the thing is, like, they don't even understand that, like, everyone, like, even if you play on the fourth line, like, you're just, like, you're not even known, like, you're just a little player that plays on the fourth line. You're not supposed to be good. But here, since, like, most of those players, like, maybe speak French, they become instant celebrity here. And, like, they get their big head and everything. They have problem, like, go through doors and stuff like that. And every player like gets big celebrities here, and that has pushed away some of our greatest players we had, and we're stuck with Carey Price and no players to put in front now. So yeah, they don't understand that they push away because they're so like, it's too fanatic, man. I mean, if a Canadian must be a religion, it must be like something like the Baptist Church for Christian religion, I guess.
And then what I also hate are the rivalries that form up.
Yeah, but the thing is, I like those rivalries because now, when I go watch a game with some friends, they will always ask me which team I'm cheering for, and I'm always answer like the team that has most Quebecers in it. So like I cheer for Boston, I cheer for Pittsburgh. I made my groceries sometimes with Sidney Crosby. So while he was playing at Rimouski, I was studying there, and so I'm like I would cheer for those teams over the Canadians because they barely have any Quebecers in the team. So why would I be like? I'm a patriotic. I want the separation of Quebec, so I will cheer for my home players, I guess. If Tampa Bay comes in play, well, I'll cheer for Vincent Lecavalier and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've got the Canadian flag up here for you.
No, I don't need it, man. I don't need it. The Canadian flag. Come on, I'm a separatist. I want to separate from Canada.
I've also got the American flag. So.
Yeah, they're below the flag.
Why do you have a Canadian flag anyway, Tab?
Oh, Canada! I bought it. It's actually kind of a long story. So, one of the theaters I worked at, we for some reason we started the insult when someone would fuck up was fucking Canadians. If when someone messed something up, we go fucking Canadian, and so then. There was a small group of us that would get hired out a lot. We get hired out to work at other theaters, and so we were working at this other theater, and we kept shouting that at one another. And then after a few times working there, someone came up to me and they're like, "Oh, so you're from Canada?" And I just went, "Yeah." You know, like I do, and I just go, I'm
an expert. Did you start talking about Canadian stuff?
I'm from Canada. And so,
can you do the Canadian accent, hey?
No, but I know the theme song or the anthem.
What's the theme song?
Oh, Canada.
What's the theme? Oh, Canada.
Canada. Yeah. I know the William Shatner version. I know all of it. Yeah. Our
boy.
Native land.
I don't know the lyrics at all. Like
love at all our sons command and our daughters with glowing hearts like E.T. We see thee rise, the true north, free and true, free healthcare. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for you. I think those are the words.
Wow,
yeah.
I'm impressed.
But then I bought that flag for the Mad Cooks video when I announced my presidency, and then I have the American flag in the background, and then I find out that Trump had already been elected, and the camera gets knocked over and everything, and then the camera comes back and it's all tilted and wobbly, and now I had the Canadian flag in the background and a new Canada cape on. So it was a real subtle joke.
Now, Father has posted something here.
Wow, you're more Canadian than I am, man.
Oh, it's the security officer at Equifax.
Yeah, but is she like the security, like digital cyber security, or is she just like, hey, you can't fucking come in here? Look, sir, I know that you lost your identity and had all of your wealth stolen because we couldn't be bothered to keep our protection, but you can't come in here just off the street all willy-nilly.
No, those people should be like locked up or something. I mean, they messed up pretty hard.
Goodness gracious me. And now he's typing again. I like the fact that we're getting at least a couple people who are not only calling into the show, but interacting with each other as the show's going on. I'm not watching the YouTube live stream. We're getting any comments there?
You're supposed to be watching the YouTube live stream. That's your job.
Well, listen.
Last message is about me sounding stupid, so.
No, that's about. I think that's about the whole Quebec area. You don't have to let the video play. If you just have the page open, you can see the chat going. You're fired, man.
Yeah, so Aunt Buck is downstairs trying to watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy, which is it's killing my bandwidth. So that's why I don't have that up, because
It kills my boner because the chick isn't that attractive.
I've been saying that. I have been saying that. The Meredith chick, whatever her name is, like her jaw looks so weird. She's got this massive manly jaw and this itty bitty mouth. Like, what are those guys from Rick and Morty with the giant heads and the itty bitty?
And an obnoxious voice. She has a really obnoxious voice.
Yeah, and also something I've noticed about that show, because we just started season 5 last night. Everyone on that show is a terrible person. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, everybody on all shows anymore are terrible people. No, there are no likable characters. That's why Star Trek Discovery is going to suck, because everybody on that show is going to be an asshole.
Yeah. That was one of the fun things about watching Star Wars with Aunt Buck. Now, this week's episode, I talked about this, and it's not out yet, but Aunt Buck had never seen the original 3 Star Wars movies. And so I picked them up on Blu-ray, and it took us 2 nights, but we finally finished last night, episode 4, A New Hope. And it was so refreshing to see a movie where the characters were, like, well-developed, and they had reasonable motivations.
Well-developed.
And what's this?
That's the key, man.
For a summer blockbuster, they're developed.
Yeah, okay.
Listen, they're fun characters, and where the fuck are you going, dude? He's just walking away, rummaging around in his background with a bunch of novelty items.
So
I see what you got there.
As long as we're talking about the Discord, I posted this last night, and I just wanted to make sure that you felt extra jealous about it. But
That's fine.
My Lego Ecto 1.
I got to sit in the real thing.
That I'm gonna light up.
I mean, the lighting.
But it's not. It was a recreation, though. It wasn't the real thing.
It was the one that they made to drive around the theme park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's actually 2 cameras, so I kind of fucked this up. There's the guys.
Oh, that's right, because you got the one camera going that I can see on Skype.
Yeah.
And the other one for the live stream. Okay, fair enough.
And the Lego Ecto 1. I'm gonna get that lighting kit for this and make all the lights flash. But this was a real fun kit when it first came out. This Ecto 1, $50, right? Lego Ideas,
okay.
$50 set, comes with the original people. The only thing it didn't come with that it should have was Slimer, right? The new Lady Ghostbusters Ecto 1, $60.
You have to pay more for the feminine hygiene products.
Yeah.
It's the woman tax.
Fucking stupid.
Does it come in pink?
No, it looks just like the movie one. It's just, I don't know why that one's $60, because they're pretty much the same piece count, and if anything, this one's more desirable. But it also sucks because they don't sell this one anymore, but they do have the Lego Ghostbusters Firehouse that you could park this in if you had it. And so what they want you to do is they want you to buy the new Ecto one.
And park it in the old firehouse.
But put it in the old firehouse, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, they do buy that firehouse at the end of the new Ghostbusters, and then you see, like, Sigourney Weaver comes back and says something about, like, safety is for dudes. And I'm like, sure, yeah, okay.
I have a second one of these. Go ahead.
I was just going to talk shit about that movie, which... That's nothing new.
Yeah, I have a second one of these that I stripped off all the Ghostbusters logos and all the shit on the roof, and I just made like a plain old ambulance, and then I have four people in the little stand that just look like they're just dressed like paramedics.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's in a box. It's hard to get to. So
there's actually a movement out there of people who are pissed that you can't find a 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor Futura that hasn't been converted
into a
that's actually worth buying. Yeah, because every time somebody buys one, that's the first damn thing they do to it.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you?
But like, there are some people out there who just want to have like a 1959 Cadillac ambulance, and there were 3 of them. There were 3 different models that year, like an A, B, and a C model, sort of. And the Futura, I forget which one it's supposed to be, but and like they each had a designated purpose. Like one was a hearse, one was an ambulance, one was something. And so like there's 1 or 2 people that have collected, that have like found one, and Okay, so here's something else. If you go to buy one of those, like you find just the frame, no wheels,
Yeah.
no, like the interior's completely rusted out, engine's gone, it's just the metal body. Guess how much you're going to pay for that thing? As of a few years ago,
$18,000.
you are way low.
50.
You're still way low. Try $250,000, and that was a couple of years ago.
That's the same thing with 53 and 54 Buick Skylarks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those things are like you could pull one out of a swamp and sell it for $100,000.
How much does a DeLorean go for these days?
That I don't know. Those are
About 20.
Those aren't as expensive as you'd think they were because they're not as kitschy, I guess. But
You can find some used one for 12. Otherwise, restored it goes around 20 and 30,000 bucks.
They made a new one in 2016. I think they made a new one. They made like a run of like 7,000 cars or something.
Was this one also underpowered?
I think
No,
it
they
was
updated the
electric.
power for the latest. They updated the power for the latest one.
Yeah, and it was just like the '80s ones. I mean, it was except it had a bigger engine. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Actually, what happened? They took the leftover parts, the body parts from Ireland, and then they imported it back to California, and then built with a new engine and suspensions and stuff like that.
Okay. So I assume these will actually go up to 88 miles an hour.
They were yeah, probably, but they were also like $70,000 or something a piece.
Yeah, they also made
God.
an electric one to go actually to 80 miles an hour.
In one of the driver games, Driver San Francisco, you could buy a DeLorean, and then if you got up to 88 miles an hour, you unlocked like a secret mission.
Boy. But how hard was it to do? I mean, like the thing was obviously a piece of garbage. So
It wasn't that hard. It was mostly an issue of like traffic and getting a long enough straightaway to get up to that speed. And then once
Okay.
you did that, you probably never drove that DeLorean again because there were so many better cars in the game.
yeah, I never did play those games very much. I never had a PlayStation, but it
Speaking
seems
of
like that would be-
DeLoreans,
yeah. Well, what are you doing now?
You're making a Lego DeLorean?
I also
talked about-
have this Back to the Future DeLorean Lego set. That
Yeah, here we go. It's
Is this the episode or where everyone like blows their? I mean,
brains out because he's playing with Legos. Yes.
yeah.
yeah, this one's pretty cool because you could actually change it and make it look like what the car looked like in each of the 3 movies. So there's like a thing that you can put on the hood, and then you can change out the wheels.
All right. Quiz mode time.
Yeah.
Do you have a Ford Explorer?
No.
You need one
Why?
with the paint job. Was it the Explorer?
From Jurassic Park? They don't make a
yeah.
Lego. They haven't made one. I have a Jeep from the Jurassic World, but it's all blue and white. They didn't make one to match the old movie.
That's so lame.
It's past
Because-
there has been a Jurassic Park set selected that's gotten the 10,000 votes needed for review for Lego Ideas. So Lego Ideas is a program where people submit designs, and then if it gets 10,000 votes, Lego looks at it and says, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll make this into a set." And so
Yeah, it almost never works, man.
Uh,
Sometimes when they get like big, huge amounts of votes, yeah. But otherwise, I've seen a couple of projects that were like way over 30,000 votes, and it never happened.
well, part of it's
All
part
right.
of it's licensing and stuff. So the Jurassic Park one has passed the last. This will be the 3rd time if it hits 10,000 votes, and they haven't done it yet. And it's like people fucking want this set. They want the classic Jurassic Park shit.
So can you just like create any category to be voted on? Like is there a website you can go to?
Yeah, LegoIdeas.com.
hey, I wanna-
Yeah, you can create anything. Like they have the Saturn V is out right now, and they made a Big Bang Theory Lego set.
Yeah. So here's what I want to do. I want to make
Lego set. They made. There's one that's like the. I don't know if that's Lego Ideas or not. There's like the Three Ladies of Science Lego set that was basically a license for Lego to print money, and it was just three lady minifigures, and they each had like a little thing next to them. Like one was an astronomer, she had a telescope. One was a paleontologist, she had a skeleton of a dinosaur, and it was $20, and it sold out every single time we got into stores. It would sell out immediately, and now it sells online for $60.
Did one of them have a searchlight with a V for virtue?
No,
to shine up the clouds. The virtue signal.
Yeah, if Lego actually wanted, well, what Lego does now is they have a specific line of Lego toys for girls, and the characters all look like fucking Barbie dolls, and it even has a show now on Netflix, I guess, and it doesn't look like the other Lego shows where they're actually Lego minifigures. It's just like a regular ass animated movie. I'm like, this isn't a Lego movie.
Dowfather says we need a Donald Trump Lego set. It includes a figure of Hillary Clinton. I gotta pull that up and see the rest of that. Man, he's got some good zingers tonight. Hillary Clinton with hard liquor crying over her loss.
No, it's got to come with Hillary Clinton's book.
That works too. I want a Here's What I Don't Get Lego set. And it's just going to be, I guess, the two of us with hats on. We could probably just make this.
I have a Lego minifigure of myself. I actually have a few.
Yeah, because someone made those from your Mad Cuck stuff. With the
but I have one from before that. That's actually like me. I have one we were given when I worked at Lego Store. We were given little minifigure bodies, and it was of you, and it was of the uniform basically that you wear. And then you just went and picked a head and hair and stuff. And so I have that one, and then I made one, which isn't here, that was of me. I made one of myself and a bunch of my friends, and it was a little diorama. I don't know, and I have one from when I was like a kid, and that was like my superhero Lego minifigure, but I don't know where that one is right now.
So now I just need one of me. We can make a little podcast diorama.
I'll see what I can do.
Look boring.
Get just little microphones just sitting in chairs.
Because it's fun to think about, like, oh, we can do the Here's What I Don't Get project of this, or the Here's What I Get. But the reality is we're just a couple of guys who occasionally sit in a room either separately or together with microphones. The reality is always very disappointing.
Yep.
Otherwise, it could be... sorry.
No,
Otherwise, it could be like a reconstitution of some of the stories you told on the show.
Yeah, but our stories always involve dumb stuff. Like, you have to build the house that I used to live in, and then there's me with a little cell phone marching up the stairs. And
what about that time you got arrested by the trooper after that big shit that happened near the lake?
Oh, I didn't get arrested. I just we talking about the watermelon boat incident. Yeah, I didn't get arrested, but I was made to feel shame over that.
No, the time you got a ticket.
After being stopped by the rubberneckers.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't get arrested because I was going damn near 90. But yeah, that was. Of course, then you just need like a cop car and me in a van, and then like I guess a body of water.
There you go, $60 a set.
And then like a little word bubble over my head of just like hash marks of profanity. That would work.
I'd buy that.
Just me scream. You'd buy that set? I'll sell it to you. There was some legit interest in getting copies made of literally Hitler, but I never got around to it.
Hey, I want one.
That makes at least two people.
That makes you literally Hitler.
I like bad joke stuff.
Oh, thank you.
I play like Cards Against Humanity with some friends, and I'm always the dirtiest one. I mean, like the most psycho, but I'm not anything like an Nazi. I just like to joke about them. That's it.
Yeah, I've got a pretty ridiculously large collection of Cards Against Humanity. It's kind of sad.
I've never played it. Probably never will.
But oh, you should.
It's fun. You get drunk and then you just play those and laugh.
It's good a couple of times. It's good a couple of times, but after like maybe 20 games, it gets old pretty quick.
Well, that's why you have to keep on adding cards. Because if you used to keep getting the same cards, it gets really dull. But if you keep adding new cards, it's usually pretty fun.
That's how they get you, though. then you just
It
have
is
to
gonna
keep.
get you.
You get that dopamine hit from a new deck, man. You always looking for the next hit.
It's like Magic the Gathering, man.
It is like Magic the Gathering. I have some Magic the Gathering cards that I found in the middle of the street. It was, and they were in one of those deck boxes. It looked like someone maybe like set it on top of their car and then drove away, and they fell off and landed and scattered all over the street. So I picked them up, and then now I don't know where they are. But I want
Maybe it was
to see if they're like worth anything.
maybe it was just an offering from an angry girlfriend.
I don't know. I also one time I
Chicks messing with
found
your stuff, man.
one time I found a beautiful bouquet of like 24 roses in my parking lot of my apartment complex. Like, and I was like, "Is there
There's a story
fight?
there.
Was it?" Was someone like, fuck you, fuck, and then just like threw those roses on the ground and left, and then the other person didn't want to pick them up, so I picked them up and put them in my house. Like, and then people come over and be like, "What's with all those roses?" Like, I don't know, I found them in the parking lot.
Like, I have class.
They look
Fuck
nice.
you. I'm allowed to like nice things.
Yeah.
Some roses smell nice. I'm getting ready to get a rose bush, fuckers. Shame me over it, I dare you. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get here shortly. I got Aunt Buck downstairs,
Sounds like a
ready to see her
weird
husband
euphemism.
after a long, hard day.
Yeah. Oh, we can wrap it now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. It's been about an hour anyway since we
Yeah.
stopped fucking up.
So, all right. Well, thanks for calling in, Pat. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
And I'm going to move you back to the regular thing. So, you have a good night.
Just kind of went dead.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. So, any closing thoughts?
No,
No.
not really.
Did you remember to
Never
to
forget.
never forget?
Yeah, I did. In fact, my meal tonight cost me $9.11. No shitting you.
Oh, what'd you have?
Some burgers and fries and a soda.
I had a $5 pizza. I split it with the kids
Yeah.
because they have to pay their fair share. You know.
Yeah.
You can't let them mooch off of you forever. I mean, one's 2 and one's 5. It's time for
Yeah,
them
it's time to end it. Definitely.
time to
Stop suckling
cut
at
the
the
apron
teat.
springs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time for them to stop being lazy. All right. Pat says we need to finish our minute of silence.
Well, we'll finish up after this. Everybody go out and have your minute of silence.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
done with that. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. If you joined live, if you didn't join live and you're watching this later, fuck you. You should have been here.
Yep, you missed out.
You missed out on a lot of technical issues and us talking about stuff that nobody else cares about.
Yeah.
So, actually, that's very insulting to everyone who just called in. I disavow that statement. Don't you shake your head at me, you prick. All right, this has been Here's What I Don't Get.
I'm Tad Burt.
I'm Uncle Buck.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye-bye.